Several novels have been adapted into films, and many people prefer watching movies rather than reading the books. People prefer movies because they are visually appealing and it easily attracts. Books, on the other hand, are far more interesting and way better than movie. Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nurul Irdina binti Jaferyzin, and today I will talk about why books are better than movie. These are the topic outline that I'm going to talk about that consists of the introduction, how to make a good adaptation, why books are better, the graph, and also recommendation and conclusion. First thing first, a movie adaptation is the transformation of a work or story into a fiction film in a whole or in part. Although it is commonly regarded as a type of derivative work, academic scholars such as Robert Stamp have recently conceptualized film adaptation as a dialogue process. While novels are the most common source of film adaptation, other works adapted into films include non-fiction, including journalism, autobiographical works, comic books, scriptures, plays, historical shows, and even other films. Since the early days of cinema in 19th century Europe, adaptation from such diverse resources has been a common practice in filmmaking. Unlike when making a remake, film directors usually have more creative freedom when making a film adaptation. The examples of famous movie adaptation like Harry Potter series, The Hobbit series, Twilight Saga, and many more. So, how to make a good adaptation? Firstly, to honor the source material. When adapting an already successful novel into a film, the primary source of information is the original work. The Lord of the Rings trilogy was divided into 3 films, as were the books, and was a critical and commercial success. Despite being inspired by a single novel, the following story, The Hobbit, was also split into 3 films and received a more mixed reception. Some may see this as a money-making strategy, but the length and the depth of Tolkien's novel demanded a detailed trilogy. Regardless of how many films are required to reenact a novel, the key events must be included for the film to be faithful to the book. In order for the adaptation to be successful, the plot must flow as smoothly as it does in the book. Next is to work with the author. After reading the original work, it is critical to consider and collaborate with the author. After all, they are the ones that create the story and should therefore be involved in its adaptation. Following the success of the book, many authors may have already considered a film adaptation. When it comes to casting, direction, design, and other aspects of film production, having the author at the center of it all can be a huge asset, assisting in the transformation of their ideas and providing tidbits of inspiration or knowledge that would otherwise be missing. Moving on to the next slide. Despite the various ways in making a good adaptation, why people, even myself, still prefer the book version? This is mainly because books give you better imagination. Books stimulate your creativity and expand your imagination. Everything is visualized in your mind. It is as if you are watching a movie in your mind. The thing I like best about books is that every little detail of a person or scenario is written down and you can bring it to life. Consider the well-known Harry Potter series by author J.K. Rowling. It is the all-time best-selling series. It is a fascinating illustration of the adage, imagination knows no bounds. Secondly, it put the pieces together. Because movies are rushed, they try but fail to cover everything. There are always some gaps in movies. And as you read the book, you will gain a better understanding. That is the credibility that a book provides to its reader, and it allows the reader to piece together the puzzle. The script may not do the story justice. Using the Harry Potter series as an example, even though the film is made in sections, various scenes and even characters are being cut, and the film leaves a number of questions and answers. Books cover everything from why Harry's aunt Petunia despises him to Voldemort's past and family. Overall, books are superior to movie endings. And lastly, it can increase our linguistic skills. We see an actor playing a role in movies, but when we read, we imagine the scenario, characters' facial features, personality, attire, and ourselves as described in the books. Even the sound and pitch with which the dialogue was delivered. It aids our comprehension of the language. Listening, reading, writing, and speaking are all linguistic skills. All of them are provided by books. While reading, we imagine ourselves listening to the dialogues. While writing the best dialogue for ourselves, we talk to ourselves about the plot and the twist. This can be supported by these two graphs. As we can see from the first graph, 51.8% agreed that book is much better than movie, and only 1.2% think the other ways. Even on the second graph, people choose books over movie in almost every movie except for Bridget Jones' Diary, Shawshank Redemption, and Fight Club. As recommendation, I would like to suggest the director or everyone that involved in the making of movie adaptation to imply all the ways that I have listed before. The director should not exclude the little important details, as it was that will attract the audience. Not to mention, for the audience to being more open-minded in accepting the flaws of the movie, since we can expect the movie to be 100% stick and same as the book. That concludes my book versus movie comparison. There are numerous other things that movies can do to your favorite book stories and make them less satisfying. There is some truth to the statement that the book is superior to the film, but the reasons it's vary. But that doesn't mean the film is always as good as the book. We have seen some fantastic adaptations of some fantastic books, and I must admit that I prefer the first 3 Harry Potter films rather than the book. But that is, since for the others, such as Twilight, I love the books more than the movie. And that's all from me. I hope you gain new knowledge and you like it. Thank you. Bye.